Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's Reading the Red. This Thursday morning, a wet and rainy morning. So stay dry. You need your umbrellas today. Matthew chapter 13, verse 29. Jesus reveals to us his response to the invitation to go and dig up the weeds or dig up the tares. And right at the end of 28, it says, the servants say, "Do you want us then to go and gather them up?" That's the tares. But he said, that's the owner, he said, "No, for while you are gathering up the tares, you may uproot the wheat with them." So they asked, "Do you want us to go and sort out all those weeds?" And he says, the landowner says, "No, don't do that, because if you do, you may well damage the wheat. We've got to let them grow together and then we can sort it out." And so there are two key things here. First of all, timing, which I said yesterday. And the landowner, who represents God, in effect to the servants, he says no to them. And this ability to be able to say no is a really powerful tool in our lives as human beings. Sometimes we think ourselves as being victims, people who can't help do what they do. But that's not actually true. The reality is that within us is the strength to say no, or at least it is once your spiritual awareness becomes alert. And this sense of being able to say no to what we might call bad things operating in our lives is possible if we have this reconnection with ourselves. See, so often, most of us are driven by our soulish desires. I was listening to a song the other day, and in the song, straight away, it moved me emotionally. Now, that wasn't wrong in itself, but that whole mood took me somewhere that really wasn't going to be helpful for me to go. And so I had to stop myself and say no. And we can do that, not just with music, but we can do that with any kind of enemy that tries to sow in us in a particular moment of every day something that's going to be ultimately harmful. We almost need like a sensitivity of disdain against what we might call tares. And the word tares, actually, I was speaking to someone yesterday, it's not a tear as in tear something over, but it's a seed that looks like wheat. It's an imposter. I've said before, it's bad, not good. And we need to be mindful of anyone that wants to try and sow in us, or anything that tries to sow in us tares, bad, that will ultimately produce something negative. And so Jesus, as the landowner, says, no, don't go and harvest this thing yet, because you might damage the wheat. And God has got his eye on the wheat as well as he's got his eye on the tares. And ultimately, when we come to the end of this parable, we're going to see that this is a reference to Christians and non-Christians. This is a reference to people inside the church who are, as it were, good wheat, and people who are inside the church that actually aren't very good for the church as well, because they're misrepresenting God by their behaviour, by their lack of surrender, and by all kinds of other issues that are going on in their lives that they can't see. And so Jesus is ultimately saying, in effect, in preparation to the conclusion of this parable, he's saying that let these two grow together until the end of the age. Time is gone. God bless you. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.